Morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm doing a tarot card of the day for everyone as I'm just chilling, starting my morning here, my cozy morning. And what came up was the 10 of Wands reversed today. So this is kind of a specific message for those of you who are at a place of where you're looking for love. Maybe not looking for love, but you're open to love for the first time in a long time. And I'm speaking specifically to those people who did have childhood abuse. So when you have childhood abuse, you get a negative association with love and with relationships. So that can lead to a lot of people hyper focusing on work and working all the time, or hyper focusing on travel. You're doing something to occupy your time and going, no, I don't have time for a relationship. Or it's a feeling of, why would I be in a relationship right now? Relationships slow you down. Relationships are so much work. Relationships are a burden. I can only be in a relationship when I have all the money I need and all the time, because you ultimately just have this association with love and relationships being a burden. Fair enough. Fair enough conclusion, okay? Fair enough conclusion. Fair enough association. But I invite you all to go Google emotional guidance list and just notice that where do you fall on that? Where do you just land on the topic of love? It's going to be pretty low. It's going to be like insecure, right? It's going to be powerless, which is like the lowest vibrations, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a ladder, right? Like the game shoots and ladders. You start at the bottom, you go up, sometimes you come down, sometimes you go up. That's life. So where you land on the ladder of love is just at a lower vibrational set point. Okay. And so what this is trying to tell you today, the message that you guys need to hear, is that you have to recognize that having that association with love being a burden served you. It's recognizing that it did give you a lot of love and connection. It didn't give you a positive association with love and connection. It didn't give you love and connection with, say, your parents or your primary caregiver. But what it did do is when you were out and about in the real world and you were achieving something, it would inevitably come up. Hey, I noticed the quiver in your voice when you're giving your presentation. Oh, I know, it's because I have a throat chakra. Because my parents never let me speak when I was younger, and I was just always really stifled. So it always made the person who was trying to give you an original compliment be in a place of, oh wow, you did a phenomenal job, and to hear your story of where you came from really shows you even did that much better of a job. Do you see that positive? Not affirmation, but that positive love that you received from that person? This card, this message is saying that you're not ready to give that up. It's been one of your sources of validation, one of your sources of, I'm doing a good job, has been people cheering you on as you overcome the struggles of childhood to make something of yourself now that you're an adult. So just become aware of that. Just allow that to kind of sink in and settle in. And it's about recognizing that the definition of love is going to have to be a new skill that you learn, a new vibration that you begin to feel, and you don't know what it feels like. And that's okay. That's okay, right? When a baby is born, he doesn't know how to do anything. But a baby, there's no manual to teach a baby how to talk. There's no manual to teach a baby how to walk, right? We learn by observing others, or we learn by coming up with ideas and going, how do we do that? Right? Elon Musk and his little SpaceX that he's got going on, he's like imagining what would it be like if we were to go to the moon and have a launch pad that we can send rockets up and they can land, right? So we learn by observing. You can teach yourself. The school system did not fail you. Your parents did not fail you. Your parents were your vehicle and your vessel down to this planet because you are an adaptable and acclimatable human being. You are source. And you have a powerful inner being guiding you to everything that you want. It's more about, can you allow yourself, right? Can you allow yourself to tap into the good feeling thing and continue to go yes to the good, yes to the good, yes to the good. If you feel something bad, it's that didn't feel so good. What did I learn about myself? And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a personal story. It's a little embarrassing to share. Had a little summer love. Person was more sexually adventurous than me. When that person's sexual adventure side came out in our relationship, I was willing to, maybe, I don't think so, but maybe I'll give it a try. I'll go check it out. I'll scope it out, you know? Didn't work out. I didn't like it. I felt rejected, even though it really had nothing to do with the other person. I felt rejected. I felt all kinds of low vibe stuff. And I wasn't actually rejected, but that's not what matters. It's a feeling that I had. So you guys got to give yourself permission to feel all your feelings. And one of those feelings that you need to admit, I feel lost. I feel lost in this world of love. I've come so far on my own. And I've done so much. And quite frankly, I'm tired. I would like this self-growth and this self-development thing to be easier. I would like the expansion into feeling the love vibration to be smooth and easeful. Almost like I have a loving guardian angel, a loving spirit guide, almost like I have a warm, loving mother just cupping me in her hands, hugging and holding me, and showing me this is the way. And the way is literally to reacclimate your antenna towards things that feel good. So for those of you who don't know how you feel about a topic, fine. You had enmeshment trauma likely when you were younger. You had a parent that needed to be taken care of. You were parentified, right? So of course you don't know how to tap into yourself and tap into what brings you joy. But you get to do that now as an adult. You get to discover that now. And you're either willing to go on that self-discovery journey. And guys, it's kind of like, I like to call it the shotgun approach. And this is what I say to my clients. Like, you don't know who you are. Shotgun approach. Start with something simple like ice cream, right? Chocolate used to be my favorite. Until I was chatting with one of my inner kids one day. And I was like, we don't actually like chocolate. We like fruit. I was like, really? So I went to the ice cream shop and I just got, a little sample. After a while you had to buy. But I would just buy myself a scoop and I'd go, this is what it felt like. This is like the sensations in my mouth. I went back the next week and after trying a couple different flavors that way, I realized I like strawberry. Strawberry ice cream is my favorite. 30-something years old and I just discovered that about myself. I'm discovering that I'm really drawn to belly dancing. I don't know if the word's confidence, but I have no desire to do it in front of people. I have no desire to take an official course, but sometimes I do like watching like a little 5-minute YouTube clip and then I just kind of practice the moves a little. Always when the lights are off, always when it's dark. But do you guys hear that? Do you hear how I'm not fully comfortable in my body, right? Because that's like 10 of wands upright, the burden. 10 of wands reversed is when you're not yet ready to give up something that felt like a burden. And I'm not ready to give up the complete body shame yet. You got to be okay with that. Because now that I know like I feel despair about feeling comfortable in my body, that's just where I land on that emotional guidance list. Then you can meet yourself right where you're at. Not this feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and make yourself do it to prove you're adventurous, to prove you're a self-grower, to prove the chains of the past aren't going to hold you back anymore. What kind of fucking self-torture is that? Instead, I turn the lights down super low, it used to be off completely. Now I turn it down like low. I let my little like salt lamp, pink salt lamp, I like that. And I just slowly start to move and I just play with moves. At some point that's going to grow and it will turn into more. It might turn into performing. It might turn into maybe I'll be leading a chakra belly dancing class, or it might just be something that I like to do by myself. Or it might be something that turns out that I'll do very sexily for my future husband. Who knows? But that's the point, guys. First step, you got to be willing to let go of the pain of the past. And it's not about it's not about letting go of the pain of the past. It's about recognizing that is the past, that did happen. There might be inner child work and shadow work to still do and become aware of. But when you start to view it as I release using those stories and examples of the struggles that I triumphed over to prove to others that I'm doing a good job right now, your focus is more on proving to others of, no, look, I'm really far in my journey. Look how good of a job I'm doing. That big struggle only showcases even more how I'm doing a really good job right now. Your point of focus is on proving how good of a job you're doing. Instead, it needs to be, I want to focus on getting to know what makes me happy. I want to tap into the vibration of happiness more. I want to tap into what makes me feel content, what makes me feel cozy, what makes me feel warm, what makes me feel safe, what makes me feel secure, what makes me feel secure when someone else is involved, what makes me feel secure on my own. Bring your point of focus to the self-discovery of what makes you happiness now so that you can keep going. And you know, a friend of mine mentioned a book that she was reading. I think it was Matthew McConaughey, called The Green Light. I haven't read it yet, okay? But The Green Light. And I asked her, I was like, so is it pretty much a story of how he kept going towards the yeses, kept going towards the good feeling thing, kept towards the green light? She laughed and went, yeah. I was like, the title kind of gave it away. I'm going to read the book shortly, but it's, can you take the time, instead of focusing on proving how good of a job you're doing, no, I'm doing a good job, I'm working all these hours. No, I'm doing the quantum leap meditation. I'm doing da-da-da-da-da. See, I'm doing a good job. Why isn't the universe delivering? Let go of using the past as a point to prove how good of a job you're doing and focus on, this feels good. Comment below, guys. Let me know how this message of the day helped you. Love you guys.